the summer months, many people head outside to try and soak up some of that extra warmth. But there's a hidden risk hiding in the tall grass, and it packs an extra bite. Americans notice a surge of tick bites in the summer, thanks to the extra time spent outdoors. But a new report released by the CDC adds a new syndrome to the potential list of risks.
So alpha-gal or red meat allergy syndrome, it's a problem where you're bitten by a Lone Star tick. The Lone Star tick passes a sugar molecule from its saliva into your bloodstream. Your body starts to react to it as an allergen, and then when you consume red meat, your body will react the same way.
Thanks to the transfer of this syndrome through tick bites, people are experiencing an allergy to red meat, putting a damper on those summer grilling plans.
So when you have a hamburger or a hot dog, about 6 to 8 hours after consuming that food, you'll start to have stomach pains. You could sweat, you could have increased mucus production. It's very uncomfortable.
The CDC reported in July that since 2010, there were more than 110,000 suspected cases of alpha-gal syndrome identified. But because the official diagnosis requires a positive test, some individuals are missing being diagnosed. More
people are impacted by it than we previously thought. It's something that's still relatively new, only really been talked about since like 2010, thereabouts. We're starting to learn more and more about it. Allergists are studying it and figuring out exactly how widespread it is. So once you're done enjoying the summer sun, make sure you give yourself a tick check to stay safe from those tiny tick bites. After any activity outdoors, I would encourage people to do a tick check, to check your body for parasites walking up and down it so that you can remove them before they take a bite. In Lexington, Alexa Minton, WKYT.